So let's rank all movies that I saw in the second half of last year in 2020. Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So greetings my fellow YouTubers and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name is Doyle, better known to you as the Big D. So I'm going to bring to you all another ranking. This time it's going to be on all movies that I saw in the second half of 2020. Going from July to December. Now I saw 26 movies. I counted them all. I didn't miss any. So now these will be ranked by the scores I have given them on Letterboxd. Now if you haven't seen the first half of 2020 ranking, I say you should check that out before you watch this. I'll put a card up and then I'll get into this ranking. So give me just a sec. Okay, just a little moment to let y'all to catch what up and click on the card. Okay, thank you. But now, if you've seen it, then let's continue on. Let's start with our movies that, now the first few have gotten 3.5 stars from me, which I'm saying they're mostly okay good, close to good, okay? Coming in at number 26 is Hubie Halloween. Now, after making so many misses and what have you for last few years, Adam Sandler manages to redeem himself a bit with this film. This film is pretty funny. It has its moments, but it's got a little bit of that vibe of some old school Adam Sandler flicks and what have you, but Adam does his best. Some of the supporting cast was good too. But I'm gonna say it's a pretty fun movie, and I just thought it was not too bad. Okay, coming in at number 25 is Sleepover. Now, this is another Netflix movie like this is. Actually, the first few movies are actually Netflix movies. Now, this one I don't believe I got a chance to review, but I will tell you this film was pretty fun and all. Almost kind of think of this as Adventures in Babysitting, except in a spy type way. Madeline Ackerman's in this, and I gotta say, it has its moments. It's pretty funny, and, well, I think this is just so much fun. If you've not seen this, you might want to give it a try. Sleepover's pretty good and all. Now, coming in number 24 is We Can Be Heroes, which I watched not so long ago. If you haven't seen my review of that, check that out. It's one of my recent ones. Now, this serves as a standalone sequel to the underrated flick of The Adventures of Shark Boy and Lava Girl, which they're in this, along with lots of others. It involves the kids of these superheroes, and I will tell you, it was pretty fun and all, like Shark Boy and Lava Girl. It just has a few misses, though, but still, it's mostly good. A little more over the okay good limit, so I can say that this was fun. I hope they'll do another one, maybe. But you never can tell. Robert Rodriguez did a pretty good job in directing this, though. Now at number 23 is The Babysitter, Killer Queen. Now, well, despite I didn't get to see the first one, I actually did watch it before this one. It's good and all. Not quite as good as its predecessor, but it has its moments and what have you. I mean, we got the same cast, even though, well, the babysitter herself, I didn't think we would see her here, but Samara Weaving is back, but just for a little bit, though. But I really thought this was pretty funny in ways. Like I said, not as good as its predecessor, but still pretty good, though. So, Number 22 is A Babysitter's Guide to Monster Hunting. Now, this film was pretty fun and all. I mean, I have to admit, it has a pretty good cast and all. It has a few misses though. If you've not seen my review of it, you might want to check that out. But I will tell you, this has a fun feel to it. I mean, it almost kind of reminds me of, well, movies, well, kid-friendly horror movies and what have you, like R.L. Stein's The Hiding Hour, Don't Think About It, or, well, even in ways the Goosebumps movies, but hey, this film's pretty fun. I think anybody should check out. It's a lot of fun if anybody gives it a try. Okay, so coming in at number 21 is Safety. Now, I will admit that this is a very good film based on a true story, and about, well, this guy who's trying to make it big in football. But apparently he has to take care of his kid brother while their mother's in rehab. Yeah, it has a few good moments, but it is kind of dramatic in ways. Anyway, this and the next, let's see. This and the next 4 movies all are 4-star rated movies by me, okay? So Safety's not too bad of a movie. If you haven't seen my review of it, check it out. It's, of course, a Disney Plus movie. So Safety isn't too bad of a movie. Alright. Now, coming in at number 20 is Vampires versus the Bronx. Now, I'm gonna say I had some fun with this movie. I mean, it's about these street friends in the hood, and they are discovering that vampires have moved into their neighborhood and what have you. So they try to take them all out when no one else believes them. Oh boy, this was just a lot of fun. I thought it had a few fun moments and stuff like that. I mean, there have been several movies where, well, things like this could happen, I do believe. But Vampires versus the Bronx, it's pretty good. Wrong number. Okay, now coming in at number 19 is Project Power. Now, this film was pretty fun. I mean, Jamie Foxx was really good, and I got to see Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Dominique Fishback. I mean, this is kind of a pretty good superhero flick. I mean, but some of it was kind of strange in ways, but I have to admit that it wasn't too bad. It got mixed response, but hey, it was pretty fun and all. But the next film I'm going to mention is sort of a guilty pleasure. Coming in at number 18 is The Kissing Booth 2. Now, this really got more heavily dissed than its predecessor. And it was fun, but it's not quite as good as its predecessor. I kind of had a bit of a downside with it having a little bit of a cliffhanger-like ending. But soon after watching, I found out that there was a third movie in the works, and they've been working on that even, well, just even when the pandemic even started and what have you. So, well, and I've been seeing it will probably come out this year, but I can't guarantee that. I hope for the best this will be better. It did have a little bit of fun moments. I did like some of this movie, but I still like the first Kissing Booth a little more. But Joy King definitely does it again. And I think the guys were pretty good too. So, enough said about it. Now, number 17 is The New Mutants. Now, this had been delayed for a couple of years because it had to do reshooting and what have you. I can understand everybody didn't enjoy it as much. This was the final X-Men flick to be released by Fox, well, now 20th Century Studios, and since it was acquired by Disney. Well, it does have a few good, intense moments, and it has a little fun bits and what have you. Especially when the young New Mutants are going around the place. I mean, acting like this was like a particular scene from the Breakfast Club. Yeah, it's not too bad, but since the MCU's announced their own X-Men movie, we're hoping for the best. It'll be more cooler than this one. But the New Mutants, it's not too bad. Okay, now these next few movies have all gone 4.5 stars. Movies 16 through 7. So here we go with number 16, and that movie would be Secret Society of Second-Born Royals. This came on Disney Plus, and I'm gonna say this is kind of a little underrated. I know there are some people who did enjoy it, but some, well, this got mixed response. I'm gonna say this was pretty fun, but it did have a few downsides, but not too much though. I thought this was pretty entertaining. It was fun, and it had a pretty decent cast. Not quite really the best superhero flick, but still fun though. Okay, and actually these next two movies are also Disney Plus flicks, so number 15 is Mulan 2020. Now, this was supposed to come in theaters, but unfortunately the pandemic hit, and, well, this never came, and it finally got released on Disney Plus. Now, although it actually had its premiere earlier this year, right even before the pandemic even occurred, I'm gonna say this wasn't factually too bad. I thought it wasn't gonna be good, despite Mushu was in it. And I know they didn't have Shang in it, but they had a character that was well compared to him. So it exceeded a little bit my expectations. I gave that 4.5 stars. So I'll give it. Apologize to Ogre Boy 1992. I haven't really watched your actual review, but I saw you gave this film a star and a half, and I completely understand. Okay. But this exceeded my expectations, so although I didn't quite feel comfortable with hearing two different versions of Reflection though at the end, it did have just a little bit of bad aspects in my way, but well, it got through fine. I don't know what we'll get for another one. There have been many other Disney anime features that are getting the live action treatment. So I wish them the best of luck. Mulan 2020, it's good in ways. Number 14 is Clouds. Now, of course, this is the true story of Zach Zobiek, who's been struggling with a rare bone cancer. But anyway, his best friend, well, helps him out writing music and manages to make it big, even before he dies. But this has a little bit of sadness in one way. But nevertheless, I feel like it's got some pretty good moments. The music's actually pretty good. So anyway, Clouds, it's definitely a good movie if you haven't checked it out. Number 13 is Noah Holmes. Now, I unfortunately didn't do a review of this one. I did do a written review of it on Letterboxd. I'm gonna say this was quite a good movie. Now, I like the performance we got from Millie Bobby Brown, who plays the title character. Henry Cavill, who plays Sherlock Holmes, and not Robert Downey Jr., like we saw him in the movies. We're hoping he'll be back for a third movie. We'll see. And Helena Bonham Carter wasn't too bad. But the guy who played the other Holmes brother, I'm gonna say I wasn't too thrilled with the way he acted and what have you. No offense. That was my only downside. But, well, this film did provide a lot of humor, especially Noah breaking, like, the fifth wall, or whatever the hairy heck you call it. But I have to say, it's a very fun mystery themed flick. It's pretty good. Number 12 is Let 'Em Go. Now, I thought this was pretty dramatic in my view. Diane Lane and Kevin Costner were absolutely great in this. The rest of the supporting cast was good. It's just that the intenseness of this, they got to, I don't know, a little intenser than I had anticipated, which was kind of a bit of a slight downside. But nonetheless, I thought this was a pretty good flick. And I think this is a film you should check out. I mean, it's now on, I think it's coming this way to physical media. So if you didn't go see it, well, you might want to check this out. It's a pretty good movie. It's just that it's so intense, especially when they go after that child. But when the other family goes after them, oh wow, it gets really intense. Number 11 is the one and only Ivan. Now, I will say that this was pretty good. I mean, it had a pretty good voice acting cast of these animals in the real world. It's based on the book of the same name. And I'm going to say it was pretty fun. I mean, having a group of animals performing in in this here shopping mall. Oh wow. That's really something. I just thought this was so much fun. Don't really see that much every day. But still, it's a fun movie though. And now the top 10. Number 10 is Over the Moon. Now, this was done by the team that worked on DreamWorks Animation's Abominable, and I'm going to say this turned out to be more good than I anticipated. Well, it's just that the girl's soon-to-be stepbrother was just a little bit of an annoyance, but overall, I thought it was pretty fun. It does redeem itself with the little boy, but it just has some fun-filled colors and all that stuff you could get from an animated feature. Maybe not quite as much as we get from the next one, because number 9 is Soul. Now, this was another flick we were supposed to get in theaters, but they just rescheduled it, well, twice and what have you, and soon they finally settled it in for Disney Plus, where it came to the streaming service not so long ago, before last year was over with. Well, after watching, I think this was a pretty good movie. Jamie Foxx, Tina Fey, they all gave great performances, and I especially do like the directing of Pete Docter, who of course directed this. He also directed Up and a few other Disney Pixar flicks. So this was a pretty good Disney Pixar flick. If you've not seen my review of it, you ought to check it out. I've reviewed just about all these movies here on YouTube. But anyway, Soul I think is a pretty good movie, and I think it's, what can I say? I just know it's another great Disney Pixar flick. Number 8 is The Christmas Chronicles 2. Now, I really like this just as much as its predecessor. Kurt Russell once again delivers a great performance as Santa Claus, and since we get more of Goldie Hawn as Mrs. Claus, who also does an exceptionally good job, this was just a fun movie. I mean, Chris Columbus was brought on board, and this time to direct, since he didn't direct its predecessor, but nonetheless, I thought this was a fun-filled holiday flick to watch on Netflix. And what can I tell you? This is actually the highest, well, Netflix movies make the highest Netflix movie has come up on this here ranking of mine. Well, maybe not the second highest correction, my mistake. But the Christmas Chronicles 2 is pretty good. All right, now coming in at number 7 is Roods, A New Age. Now, I had a lot of fun with this movie. I like this a little more over its predecessor because it has more fun, what have you. And this new family that the Croods meet on their journey is absolutely a little, I don't know, but they are pretty funny though. And I'm going to have to tell you, this is just a little prehistoric fun. If you've not seen this, you might want to check it out. It might still be playing in some theaters, but it is on video on demand. You gotta check it out. I think you'll really like it. But it has the same voice acting cast, but with the additions of Peter Dinklage and Leslie Mann. Yeah, this is just so much fun. Now the final 6, and these all have 5 stars ranked by me. Okay, coming in at number 6 is Magic Camp. Now, this is kind of a guilty pleasure after I've only watched it one time since it premiered on Disney Plus. But I'm going to tell you, I'm sorry to disappoint y'all. This probably got dissed in way, but I gave this film 5 stars because I just thought this was a whole lot of fun. Had so much fun and magic that just made me laugh a whole lot. Just as much as the original Sabrina the Teenage Witch cartoon did, since that is those words are in the theme song. Fun and magic to keep you laughing too. Yeah. But anyway, Magic Camp, it's pretty funny. Am Divine is absolutely funny. I like the kids and what have you. They were just, well, just so good at it. Especially like the little girl who's afraid of rabbits and what have you. Oh boy, that was a pretty fun part though. But anyway, Magic Camp, it's pretty funny, and it's the second highest rated Disney Plus flick on this here list. Now for the top 5, coming in at number 5 is Jingle Jangle, A Christmas Journey. Now, after watching the previews of it, this film had a pretty good feel to it. I mean, I like the performances we got from the cast: Forrest Whitaker, Keegan Michael Key, Hugh Bonneville. Oh wow, Felicia Rashad. Yeah, the young girl in this was really good too. I thought it was pretty good. The music was really good too, and I thought this was another great musical flick. Since after seeing the film of the production of Hamilton, but that's another story. But still, Jingle Jangle is pretty good, and it's the highest rated Netflix film on this ranking with 5 stars. It's just so much. It was so much fun. Like I said, the music in this was real good too. Number 4 is Godmothered. Now, this film was really funny than what I could imagine. I mean, it was almost like Enchanted, but except without animated an animated apprentice coming into the real world. But this was just so much fun. I loved Isla Fisher's performance, and Julian Bell was real good too. I had forgotten that Julian Bell was the gal from that movie Brittany Runs a Marathon. I haven't seen it though, but I've heard it's a good movie though. But anyway, this was just a whole load of laughs with like Magic Camp. It's another film that's filled with fun and magic to keep you laughing all the way through. I thought it was pretty funny. You haven't checked it out, it's You should. It's the highest ranked Disney Plus film on this ranking. Besides, even though it has a holiday feel, I think you should still check it out. Now for the final three. Coming in at number 3 is Bill and Ted Face the Music. Boy, after all these years, I didn't think we were ever going to get this here long-awaited sequel. After it had been a long time since Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. But anyway, Keanu Reeves and Alex Winters did an excellent job in playing the titular characters again. We also have a pretty good cast and what have you. And we got the Grim Reaper back on board. And of course, daughters to Bill and Ted's daughters, Theodora, played by Samara Weaving, and Billy, played by Bridget Lundy Payne. Those were all real good. I really have to agree that this was so much fun. And I liked how the plot went with them having to write a song to save all humanity and what have you. That was so cool. I thought Bill and Ted was most triumphant, especially in this film, as they had to face the music. Now for the final two. Coming in at number 2 is Tenet. Now going to this movie, I thought this would still do a fairly decent job here, but despite the pandemic was still going on, this film did much better overseas. But nevertheless, Christopher Nolan did a pretty good job in directing the film, and I absolutely did like the performance we got from John David Washington. Yes. And of course, we had Robert Pattinson, Michael Caine, and Kenneth Branagh in this. This film was a kind of an odd film, but nevertheless, I had a lot of fun with Tenet. It was just a lot of fun. Another great masterpiece by Christopher Nolan. But I don't know what he'll be doing next. I'd say after the little word on Warner Brothers doing their all their films for this year being on HBO Max and in theaters at the same time. I don't know. But we'll see what happens, though, in the future for Mr. Nolan. Alright, number 1 is Wonder Woman 1984, which unfortunately is now at the worst showing we've seen on the Tomato Meter in the last few days since it started out strong, 61%, but I'm saying the hell with the Tomato Meter for now. To hell with what the critics are saying. I don't care what they say. I love this movie. This was the one flick I had been waiting for than any other. Would it possibly be my favorite movie of 2020? That I can't answer until I get the ranking of that ready for tomorrow, okay? So stay tuned for that. Meanwhile, though, Gal Gadot absolutely stuns everyone, well, maybe everyone, but me especially, as the title character in Diana Prince. Chris Pine back as Steve Trevor. I liked Pedro Pascal as Maxwell Lord, and Kristen Wiig, who I mostly know her from funny movies, playing Barbara Minerva, who would soon become the Cheetah. Wow. Now, they've already confirmed the third one will go on, so let's hope for the best that this will get more good response instead of what those time-picking critics gave for this, because this ratings are just leaving me cold still, but I'm just saying the hell with what they're saying. Know what I'm saying, folks? Wonder Woman 1984, I managed to go see it. I do love it. It's very fun. It was just a blast. I loved the saying of it. Yeah. It was just so much fun to go see. If you haven't seen my review of that, you need to see it. But anyway, that's it. That's my ranking of all films I saw in the second half of 2020. Which of these movies do you like? Are any of these your favorites from the second half of this year? Please tell me in the comments section below. If you like this video, click the like button below, subscribe to my channel as well, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Join me next time when I bring to you my ranking of all the flicks from, well, not all flicks. I'm going to try and keep this ranking 50-50, so it will not include all the movies I've seen this year, okay? Because there will be a few others, some that didn't get to make the first ranking, but just stay tuned and find out. So thanks for watching, and if you like this, check out these other rankings I did. The upper left-hand corner is my ranking of top favorite kids game shows. Or if you'd like, you can check out this, well, probably one of the most viewed rankings I did recently. Well, check out the second part of my Van Halen songs ranking, where I do the Sammy Hagar era. I mean, you can check out the David Lee Roth era as well, but I'm putting that up since it's got the most views. Or if you want to not see rankings, go to the bottom left-hand corner and see my recent Saturday morning TV log of Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kids. And the bottom right-hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe to my channel. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.